Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's live. This week, it is a very, very special AMA. We have some exciting guests with us from Mocaverse. If you saw the tweet, you already are in the know. We have some really exciting stuff to share with you today. So some housekeeping, as always. If you have a question, make sure you're posting it in the YouTube live chat. We are monitoring chat all the time, so we can bring them up as we see some really good questions. If you're in game right now, which you should be, there's a small energy booster in the theater. It's just a little bit northwest of the fountain in Terravilla Central. So make sure you go there, and let's keep it farmer friendly. Let's have a great time, and let me bring up Luke.
Hey, everybody. Oh my God, exciting week this week. So yeah, we've been wanting to announce this for a while. This has been going on the back end for a minute here. And yeah, we have a really, really awesome partnership that we're announcing today. So what this partnership is going to bring is it's going to bring some pretty fun new in-game activations. There's going to be prizes. And yeah, we're quite excited to get this going. So yeah, I want to thank the Mocaverse team for joining us today. I know it's super early in their time. So yeah, why don't we bring them up now? And we can kind of talk about like what exactly is Mocaverse, what's this going to look like for us, what you guys can expect out of the gameplay around it. Maybe you guys can learn a bit more about Mocaverse if you haven't, or if you're coming from Mocaverse, you can learn a bit about Pixels too. And yeah, really, really excited to kind of launch this. And then yeah, after we go through all this stuff, we'll answer normal questions like we do in these AMAs and start to get into some of the more Pixel specific stuff. But yeah, while we have them, feel free to answer or ask any questions around Mocaverse and what they're up to and what we're working on with them as well.
Okay, and without further ado, we have Gojo and Tyler with us today. So welcome. We're so excited to have you with us to talk about this activation with Mocaverse. I'm biased as heck because I love the color palette and just like the artwork that has been done for this activation in Pixels. So I'm really excited to share with you all. It's like up my alley. personally. But yeah, do you guys want to kind of introduce yourselves and maybe talk a little bit about like what is Mocaverse for people that maybe aren't as familiar?
Sure. Thanks for having us. Pretty exciting. And I've never been more energetic because right now it's like 4 a.m. right here in Hong Kong. I don't feel sleepy at all. That's amazing. I probably can hang in there like until like end of the day. So it's amazing. Yeah, thanks for having us. I'm Tyler Durden, head of projects at Moca Brands. My role, I'm leading Mocaverse as a project CEO, and so yeah, very very nice to meet you guys here, and amazing to see you again, Luke. You always look amazing.
Yeah, and appreciate you coming on so early. To be fair, I'll be on the space 4 a.m. my time with you guys. I think with the pink spaces at 4 a.m. my time tomorrow. So it's going to come back as well. But yeah, Mocaverse, if you guys haven't checked it out, it's probably one of the hottest NFT collections out there right now. But Mocaverse is not just an NFT collection. You guys have been working on something bigger. And I'm not sure if all of our community is completely familiar with what you guys have been working on with Moca ID. Do you guys maybe want to dive in and explain to our community what you guys have been working on with that and what exactly it unlocks for users?
Yeah, for sure. So Mocaverse started around March, and we started with our first mint, and all minted out 8,888 NFT in the collection, and is the Moca Brand's flagship marquee project, first priority right now. And for people who have never heard about Moca Brands is a $5 billion company. We invested in 450 portfolio companies, and it's great having Pixels as well in the network, and also like working very closely together since the beginning, I would say. And what Mocaverse is doing is actually having Moca ID as an entry point, and to participate in this network. And what does this network actually do? What we're building is actually the meta layer on top of the 450 companies and beyond. And yeah, it's really exciting to announce our collaboration with Pixels. Yesterday, we announced our collaboration with Ubisoft for their Champion Tactics games. So it's really, really exciting to bring everyone together in this building that network effect with all the games and experiences.
Yeah, so if you guys aren't familiar as well, Animoca has been advising, and they invested in our previous round of fundraising when we were like way back in the day. This was like December 2021. And I just want to say they've been by far our most helpful investor. The knowledge and this expertise that they bring into the space has basically been unrivaled. And as they've also made other investments in the space too, there's really, really interesting network effects that they're basically trying to build around Moca ID. And all of these things too. And it also solves one of the key problems that we've been facing. If you guys have been following Pixels, we introduced a system called Reputation the other day. I think it was like a week ago. It's been so long ago now at this point, but literally only a week ago is when we started announcing Reputation. And it's a system that we are integrating into Pixels to kind of verify and get a better idea of who the good players in Web3 gaming are. And that's a huge, hard problem. We talk about this publicly a ton. But at the end of the day, what we want to be doing at Pixels is we want to be rewarding good players in the game. And we don't want to be giving rewards to people who are not necessarily the best actors. So that means things like bots, multi-accounts, all of that. So we developed this reputation system where we can essentially do some things that are like soft KYC rather than making you scan your face or something like that. And Mocaverse has a really interesting potential to integrate into this reputation system that we have, where they get a lot of data on the other games that are in the Animoca ecosystem or even outside of the Animoca ecosystem with the partnerships that they've been developing. And it's essentially a way that we can start to give you guys points in our reputation system for stuff that you do even in other games, not just our game as well too. So this partnership is kind of going to be the first aspect of it. We are really, really glad to be launching early with Mocaverse, and the opportunities it is bringing is really cool because there's this whole in-game activation that we have planned in order to kick this off, basically. So I'm not sure how much we can tease, but you'll start to see it. We're about to put out a tweet in the next like 10 or 20 minutes, and we'll ask you guys kindly to retweet this, spread the word a little bit. But yeah, maybe we can start to dig into like what exactly people might be able to expect out of this campaign, and what the activation kind of looks like, and maybe what that whole flow might look like as well.
Yeah, maybe I would start, and then Gojo can speak about add on to the details as well. And I think it would be a very rewarding experience, and the whole flow would be going into Pixels, and then there would be a Join Mocaverse button. And once you click the Join Mocaverse button, you are able to claim your Moca ID. Right now, Moca ID, we have so far reached 40,000 unique Moca ID claimed, and is really limited based on the existing Mocaverse NFT holders with referral codes, and those referral codes were distributed like to other community. And given that, like just within I think 10 to 12 days, like we got 40,000 Moca IDs. That's amazing. And yeah, so go to Pixels, log in, and then click Join Mocaverse. Come to mocaverse.xyz to claim the Moca ID, and then it will basically automatically link both accounts. So when you play the game on Pixels, then we will accrue the user engagement to the Moca ID, and then you can start earning round points, and the round points get you rewarding experiences. We do have instant rewards as well, which is very exciting, that both Pixels and Mocaverse put together though. So and Pixels team have been working on this experience since like very early. I remember Luke like is supposed to go on like way earlier, and then I think now is really the best timing to do it. And congratulations on all the success, and on Ronin as well. It's also pretty exciting because Animoca is a early investor in Axie as well, and now Ronin. So it's all family.
Yeah, and it's kind of to the mission too, where it's like at Pixels we're obsessed with interoperability. We're obsessed with figuring out ways that we can collaborate with other people, and what we've been exploring over the last 12 months is deeper forms of interoperability, basically. So we have a couple of exciting things that you might have picked from what Tyler just spoke about. So in this activation, there's going to be rewards in the form of realm points. And realm points are really cool. Maybe Tyler can dig into that a bit more after we talk about some of the other stuff too. But then, yeah, there's also going to be rewards provided by Pixels, which will be pretty cool too. There's some land that you'll be able to get. There's some exclusive pets that we'll be giving away too. I think we're giving away around like 5 exclusive pets that will only be given away during this activation. And the way to get these is through gameplay. So yeah, we're basically connecting and hooking up with your system where they'll be able to read stuff that you guys do in the game, and be able to distribute rewards around that. So yeah, even some cooler stuff too. We're integrating the Moca avatars. So if you have a Mocaverse NFT, you'll be able to use your Mocaverse NFT in the game. But beyond that too, if you hook up your Moca ID, there's some exclusive avatars available for those users as well, which is quite interesting. So yeah, if you guys could maybe talk a bit more about realm points, like why people might want those, what those do for people, that'd be an interesting thing to dig into a bit.
Yeah, so Luke, I think you briefly mentioned about the reputation layer. So I would say round points is one of the factors to accrue reputation, and how you earn the round points would play a bigger role. But then round points as well, if people follow Mocaverse in season 1 with the NFT holders, the users have been like soft sticking the NFT. The users have been engaging with games and to win in games and so on, and all those activations. The users earn what we call the Moca XP, and actually by the end of the season 1, they were able to use the XP to buy tools in a meta social experience, and then basically those tools allow them to deck rewards and so on by working together through that social experience. And at the end, we distributed about $500,000 US worth of rewards. And I would say like for this huge shift in terms of the whole vision to further expand the ecosystem and build this network with Moca ID, and by earning round points would get you similar experiences, but I think that experience is going to be not just rewarding, but it will be fun as well. So and we love like social meta games, and I think Pixels definitely nail it. And what we want to do is basically having those round points that you can earn through engaging and winning and participating in the network games and experiences, and then you can use those round points in the network. So there's a earn and burn behavior with the round points as well further down the road.
Amazing. So we have a lot of people in these comments asking, can I get a Moca ID invite? Can I get a Mocaverse invite? So maybe, can you maybe explain, like, is that going to open up? Like, how are people going to be able to sign up? And how easy is it to sign up?
Yeah, for sure. So the invite codes were distributed through the Mocha NFT holders, and actually once the new user getting those invite codes to come in and claim the ID, they would immediately got airdrop another invite code. So they can further distribute the invite codes. But through Pixels, we're going to increase the invite code distribution only for the Pixels users and exclusively for the Pixels users. And it's pretty easy, I would say. Like basically you click 2 to 3 buttons and you're able to claim it. And then for people who are relatively technical, we're abstracting basically what we call account abstraction wallet that basically abstract everything away about Web3, about gas, about wallet from the users. So you just use your social login, or you use your MetaMask wallet, and you can basically create an account, and that account basically allow us to sponsor all the guests for you. And I would say it's pretty straightforward. And happy to share more. If you have any questions, we can definitely address that.
Okay, sweet. And then, yeah, I think what we're maybe about to do now is, Heidi, do you want to send out that tweet? And that tweet has a lot of leaks in the tweet about what this activation actually looks like. And yeah, once we send out this tweet too, note that I think we're going to be giving out some VIP for people that retweet, right?
Yeah. So if you guys read the whole thing, you'll see in the final thread there is a little sneak peek thing saying, sorry, I'm just doing 100 things at once, saying if you retweet the whole thread, you'll be entered in a chance to win one of 3 3-month VIP passes. So yeah, chances to win some VIP if you guys just simply retweet this. So I think we're ready to go. I'm gonna hit post here. Make sure I've done something right. I copied the right link.
Amazing.
We build in public, we tweet in public. All right, here we go. Okay, right, posted. It's doing its thing. All right.
Yeah, maybe what I'll do is I'll just go through this tweet really quickly and show you guys like exactly what these peaks are. So here, I'll share screen.
Open up the book format.
Yep.
Already retweeted. Let's go.
Amazing. So yeah, we have a really awesome in-game activation. If you have a Mocaverse NFT, you guys can see that we've integrated these NFTs already. What you'll notice is when you come into Pixels, there's now going to be a Mocaverse clubhouse, which is really cool. And in this clubhouse, there's going to be a whole game loop built just around this activation. You'll have to connect the Moca ID to get into this game room. And then there will be a basically leaderboard that you're going to be able to participate in. So it's this whole unique space for these IDs that are connected. There's realm points that you'll be able to earn by activating and playing this game loop. And then, yeah, you'll have the chance to earn some of these really awesome prizes as well, too. Super exciting. It's going to be a ton of fun. We'll run it for like 2 to 3 weeks. We'll confirm that date ASAP. And then, yeah, we're most likely going live with this next week. So tons of exciting stuff here. This will open up in the next week or so, and you'll be able to activate and participate in this campaign, which is going to be a ton of fun. If you guys haven't been with Pixels for a while, we've done a few things like this before. We did one around Other Spec. That was really, really cool activation where we integrated all 100,000 other deeds. We ran like a month-long mini game, basically. This is kind of the same thing as well. So yeah, all of this will open up next week. It's going to be super exciting, super fun. Make sure you retweet this tweet if you want a chance at some free VIP, and share it with everybody too.
Yeah, okay, we're getting some questions already, and guys, keep asking your questions in the YouTube live chat. You can ask questions about anything, but let's specifically talk about Mocaverse for now while we've got these guys on the call with us. Direct access to amazing responses. So, is Moca ID paid? Do you have to pay for it?
No, so that's exactly why you need to join early. So for the very initial phase, such as right now, we sponsor everything. Basically, you don't need to pay a penny. You don't need to pay for Moca ID. You don't need to pay any gas. You don't need to pay to participate. At least at this moment. So yeah, it's all on us.
I have Heidi.mocha. I'm very excited about that. So
I'm not sure if that's taken though, so I got to check it for you.
No, but I took it.
Oh, okay, amazing.
With a code, I took it. No, it's exciting. Amazing. I have it. You scared me for a second. Anyways, okay, some other questions in here. So proper steps on how to link Moca ID Pixels account. So it'll be done through the Pixels dashboard. It'll be very straightforward. Once we launch, yeah, it'll be very straightforward, just through the Pixels dashboard, which I'm sure you've already been there, connecting like your Twitter account, your Ronin wallet, all of that right in there. Okay. So yesterday we had a few fake pixel lukes coming into our Discord and trying to, do some malicious behavior. So I just want to specifically address this. How do we spell Mocaverse?
Mocaverse. But there are a lot of other scam accounts that we're trying to put down as well. That is spelled Mocaverse, and then whatever random stuff that is after that. So be careful, be cautious, and right now, like I would say Pixels and Mocaverse are one of the most kind of exciting projects, and that naturally attract a lot of bots, and that naturally attract a lot of bad actors. So be careful, check with official links and Discord and Twitter DMs, and make sure you don't click malicious links.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, sorry, I just want to quickly jump in here. But our official Twitter handle is Mocaverse NFT, so make sure you don't follow, just Mocaverse or anything like that. So that's our, official Twitter handle. And if you go into the Discord, make sure you check, the official links for, the different invite code mint link and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, please just be diligent with the safety of your assets, your wallet, all of that kind of stuff. Nothing breaks my heart more than seeing players be compromised and all of that. So just be cautious and careful. Okay. Let me see here. Oh, I was just pinning these because I thought they were really funny. I got steamed bun.mocha. And then Chicken Pet's one of our top players, got his Mocha. So that's awesome. Okay, I know you guys have already kind of touched on this a little bit, but do you want to dive a little deeper in like, how do I get a Moca ID?
So right now you can get a Moca ID if you have an invite code. Go to mocaverse.xyz, and once the Pixels activation is being up, this collaboration give you access to the Moca ID. You can go directly through the dashboard, click Join Mocaverse, and you're able to claim your Moca ID. All sponsored, no gas needs to be paid. And you link your Pixels account with the Moca ID automatically.
Yep. So if you don't have one yet, just be a little patient. When the activation goes live, you'll know, and you'll be able to get it for free, no gas, nothing needed.
If I have an existing Moca ID, will I still be able to claim prizes, i.e. participate? Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I pinned this because I thought it was funny. So we have our game producer's name is Tyler, and he hangs around a lot. Sometimes he comes on these lives. They are very different people. They live in completely different countries. But yeah, common name, I guess.
Yeah, I was confused as well when we were talking through Slack, and then Luke was like, "Oh, I was just talking to Tyler, and then we talked about this," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, two Tylers. Okay, what if my Moca ID is in a different wallet?
It's actually okay because we link that basically we link both wallets separately. So you can have like a different wallet on Pixels. You can have a different wallet holding the Moca ID. We link the two accounts and two wallets together. So don't worry about that.
Okay. Okay, let me see. Luke, do you have any other good questions in here?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a lot of questions of when. So yeah. Next week, everything's ready. Now we're just kind of bug smashing, making sure everything's good to go. And then obviously we wanted to like tell you guys before we did it too. So yeah, expect it sometime next week. Again, when we launch it, you will know. You won't miss out on that. And we'll be very noisy about it.
Yeah, just scanning through here. Yeah, when activation, when this, when that, where do I get a code? Just hang tight, guys. Coming next week. Cool. All
Okay,
right.
if you guys have any other questions for the Mocaverse team while we have them, again,
Let them go.
we're very lucky to have them on today. Feel free to ask some stuff. And you know, if you guys don't, then we'll start to move on to some Pixels questions in the next few minutes as well.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Please go to sleep. Please just go to sleep. It's unhealthy behavior. We don't condone. Okay. All right. Still can't link Moca ID. Patient. It'll happen next week. You'll be able to do it through the dashboard. Okay. I think we've answered most questions. Yeah. So just get ready. Next week, we'll dive more into the gameplay and the rewards. There are some sweet. I'm actually shocked at the lack of questions regarding rewards. That's weird to me, guys.
Yeah, I mean, we literally just announced like five 1-of-1s basically, or it might be 5 of 5s for pets. So exclusive Mocaverse pets coming, which is gonna be cool. And then the realm point stuff, I think you guys are sleeping on it a bit. It's gonna be significant.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, okay. This is a bit of a deep question here. What's the relevance of Mocaverse and Pixels? Who wants to take
Yeah, I can speak on that really quickly. So one of the things that we're interested in, right, is there is this huge issue in Web3 gaming around like basically figuring out who good users are and who bad users are. That's why we introduced the reputation system really recently. But getting as many data points as we can on users and getting like basically a network effect built with other games is the ideal situation. You know, we only have so much knowledge about a given user before they start playing, and the less knowledge that we have, the more we have to restrict these users. That's how we can basically prevent the impact of things like bots and multi-accounters, all of that kind of stuff. So the more people that we start to work with, like Mocaverse or the YGGs, adding in Ronin identity or name service, that kind of stuff, the better idea we're going to have of who our good users are. So if you're playing other games that have connected to Mocaverse or any of these other platforms as well too, we can give you more trust when you start playing the game earlier on. And that's better for everybody, right? You don't have to do the same work twice. Like if you go and play, a different connected Mocaverse game, and then you come and start playing our game, we have a better idea that you're a better user, and we can start to trust you way quicker than if we have no information on who you are as a user, correct? So, I mean, that's part of the exciting part. It's basically all tying this into this Web3 reputation system, and working with people like Mocaverse is like key to that. Basically, we can't do it on our own.
Okay, we've got.
To add to that as well, I think the reputation that you can accrue by participating in the network's games and other experiences is one very exciting thing and very practical use case. But I think another part as well is just not every game and every product is like Pixels, that you can have that social experience and being able to recognize each other's reputation, previous engagement, participation, and all that. So a lot of the other different games might be a one-to-many kind of experiences and not a many-to-many experiences. So just imagine when you independently play those games, and at the Mocaverse level is where you actually recognize each other and actually engage and interact with each other. So that meta layer is massive. And we do have a vision to bring in the social experiences to the users. So the whole Mocaverse is built around identity, social, and growth. at the meta layer is the imagination, I would just say, like, is limitless with hundreds of games and products that can be part of this network as well. And just to imagine, like, when usually in Web3, when you build a game, when you build a product, you're having that relationship between the game itself and a lot of the users, but then all those users actually do not cross-pollinate, and there's no network effect, right, in that sense. So what we're building here is actually help all the products, all the projects within the network to cross-pollinate values, to cross-pollinate users, to cross-pollinate rewards, and so on, and bringing that network effect, right? We're bootstrapping collaboration in Web3.
Amazing. Yeah, we're super excited about this. You guys will all get more information on, how to join, how to, participate in this event over the next week. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of fun here. So yeah, thanks so much for joining us. I know it's super early. Again, I'll be on a space with you guys, or at least with the pink spaces tomorrow. We'll tweet about that as well. And yeah, thanks so much again.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you so
it.
much for coming up. All right, we'll
Thanks
let
for having
you
us.
have a beautiful early morning or go back to sleep. All right, thanks, guys. Okay, so we still have a few questions about Mocaverse. I think we can whip through really quickly. So will Moca ID sit in my Ronin wallet?
No, so it's going to be somewhat separate. It's like somewhat off-chain, somewhat on other chains too, but also note that any user that comes in from Mocaverse becomes a Ronin user also. So yeah, it's just a win-win scenario here, right? Where, the more exposure that we get outside of Ronin, we bring them into Ronin, it's a win for the Ronin ecosystem, right? And that's why we still have interoperability. And that's why we're also still working with people on other chains as well. We are a Ronin game, but that doesn't mean we can't work with other people too to bring them into Ronin. It's essentially creating a network effect that's outside of Ronin so we can start to onboard more and more people into this ecosystem that we love. We are the biggest Ronin fans. And us working outside of the Ronin chain is a net positive for Ronin. So also always remember that. I know you guys are super loyal to Ronin. So are we, obviously. What we want to do is help grow the ecosystem also. That's why us having integrations with 80 NFTs on the ETH ecosystem is a net positive for Ronin too, where we start to get exposure into all these other Web3 communities. And at the end of the day, that's what Pixels is. We want to be a community of communities, and we want to be working with everybody in Web3 to build the best possible game, the best possible experience that speaks to everybody in Web3.
Okay, a couple other questions. So do Mocha NFT traits have any significance? So for existing Pixels players, yes, Mocaverse will be integrated. As you saw, if you go to our tweet, there's a couple GIFs there with a Mocaverse NFT walking around as an integration. For those of you that maybe aren't as familiar, we integrate PFP collections as avatars in the Pixels universe. So there's a whole bunch of them. You can go to, I think it's pixels.xyz/integrations, and you can see all of the existing integrations. So if you own one of the NFTs from those collections, you get to walk around the Pixels universe as that avatar. So Mocaverse, yes, they are being integrated. Rewards, we kind of touched on this. Do you want to say any more?
Yeah, so there'll be a prize pool that we offer. They're also offering realm points and some other really interesting things as well. It's pretty significant is what I can say. These rewards are probably going to be the biggest rewards that we've done at Pixels. And that was also a really interesting thing that we wanted to bring in for that reason as well, where it's okay, this is a really interesting way that we can, reward players in Pixels. Because yeah, I mean, Mocaverse is hot right now. They have some really interesting stuff coming around, their future plans. And yeah, there's some pretty interesting incentives that we're giving here.
Okay. Luke, do you have any updates, or should we just dive into questions?
Yeah, so what have we done over the last week? Again, I feel like I've aged a ton over the last week.
Oh my God, what did I do yesterday?
I know. So, I mean, this ties in perfectly to what we've been doing, right? Where our focus has been on reputation over the last week or two. And basically addressing, some of the biggest problems in Web3, when it comes to things like botting and multi-accounting. It is a tough problem in this space, and we're tackling it very happily. We think it's one of those problems that you need to solve to have a good Web3 game out. And this problem set is unique because it's unique to every single game. So working with people like Mocaverse, doing a Ronin ID or Ronin name service integration, like all this stuff is on the roadmap for us, where we want to start to just get more and more data points of who our users are, of if they've developed like some kind of Web3 identity, we want to bring it in. So we started rolling out the reputation system this last week, and we started tweaking that around a little bit too. There's some great lessons we've learned, and there's some things that we've been tweaking as well. The initial rollout, I think, has been pretty successful when it comes to reputation, where we've stopped a lot of bad behavior by implementing some of these features already. Things like Discord connection, things like phone number connection, even though that one, we gotta warn you guys on some of that stuff. Things like completing longer quests that increase your reputation has been a really good way to filter out some of these people who are botting and multi-accounting. And again, it's a huge issue of concern for us, and we actually might start to adjust some of our policies around this. Unofficial policy at Pixels around multi-accounting has been, if you look like a bot farm, you're going to get in trouble. We are probably going to start switching official policy to be no multi-accounting. And it's something that we want to be more lenient around, but it just practically means that we can't right now. So we're probably changing some of the terms of service around this because it's getting abused very heavily. And our number one goal at the end of the day for Pixels is we want to protect our real users. We want to protect the people who actually like the game or enjoying it and having fun. And that's going to be the priority here. So our policy at Pixels moving forward is, we have been doing this whole ban appeal thing. We want to move away from that. We don't want to ban people who are rule breaking in the same way that we used to before, but we do want to start to limit those accounts. So that means that if you are rule breaking, your reputation will probably be lowered significantly. And that means that you're not going to have access to the same things that you would if you had a better reputation, regardless if you have VIP or if you own land. And that also, I've seen a few questions in there, translates directly to people who are encouraging rule breaking. So there have been some streamers that we've seen that have been not really going in the spirit of the rules. And it's not xenophobic. It's nothing like that. It's really not even country specific. I don't care about that. It's just, if you are encouraging rule breaking, we can't allow that inside of the game. And we do have to set a hard line on that. Again, like, we just want to build a good experience for our users who actually care about the game. And our priority is protecting them. So even if you have a lot of followers and you're rule breaking, I'm really sorry, but we have to set a hard line in some of these things. So yeah, again, it's all about protecting real people. It's all about protecting the people that actually like what we're doing and who have the best long-term interest inside of the project. So yeah, official stance is going to start to change towards not allowing multi-accounting and lowering reputation if you are deemed to be rule breaking. And again, these other data points that we're getting, like Mocaverse, like when we start to integrate RNS, Ronin name service, like, these will give more and more things that will make it harder for you to multi-account anyways. So the idea is to kind of attack it from there. It's funny because, the initial experiments around reputation have been working really well and have put a huge dent into the incentives. But some things aren't working as well. Like, for example, phone number verification, that's almost useless. We're realizing doesn't stop many people. And it's actually led to larger issues where some people were using these like temporary phone number services where they spin up a phone number, they get it for like 30 seconds to like, maybe a couple hours, and then connecting it to their account. And then these people were surprised that other people were logging into their accounts because many people were using these same temporary phone number services. They linked a phone number that got recycled to another user, and there you go. Your account is now connected to another person's phone number. Don't do that. Do not connect an account to a temporary phone number service. Just want to give that clear warning there. Kind of expected behavior, but yeah, things like that kind of ineffective. So we'll probably lower the amount of points that you get for reputation for phone numbers. Same thing with emails too. Very easy to spin up multiple emails, and start to lean more towards these other pieces. So another one that's really interesting too is YGG. A lot of users have been completing Gap Quest with YGG, and that's a great data point. YGG does a ton of verification on real users, and they have a really good idea of who's actually been completing other game things as well too. So we'll start to lean into that system more and do greater integrations with all of those people like YGG as well. Really excited to see what they've been working on. The whole point is, right now there's not many Web3 games out, so we don't have that many data points right now, but we're more than happy to work with anybody who's solving this problem. And the more people we can work with to make it easier to just kind of see, okay, is this a good user? We want to be working with all of them basically. So there's some other stuff too that we're working with as well that's going to be coming up. Like for example, a few projects that have onboarded into the Ronin ecosystem, like Click, for example, we've been talking to and quite interested to see what we can do with them. They've been doing things like connecting Steam to profiles, and there's a few other projects that are doing something really similar as well, which we'll start to integrate too. The whole idea is make this reputation system as rock solid as possible. Make it so that if you already have an account somewhere else, you don't have to do the work twice, where it's like we don't want to have to force you to sign up for any of these platforms. But if you already have signed up with one, then we can just take it. And then you don't have to do the work 2 or 3 times in different places.
Okay, and I do actually just want to bring up this comment again about xenophobia that specific countries are receiving in your Discord. So this goes directly against everything we stand for. So if you are experiencing anything like this, please reach out to a farmhand or community team member and we will look into it. And we take this very seriously. Pixels is a welcoming community to everyone from any background, no matter what, period. Okay, so if you're ever experiencing any issues like this, or even just like someone not being very kind to you and if anything happens that makes you not want to participate, we want to know about it, right? We want to just make sure that everyone feels safe and welcome in our community. So please reach out to a farmhand or a community member and we will look into this. We care about each and every one of you. And it goes a really long way also if you see someone being targeted for a certain thing, just be like, hey, that's not really welcome behavior here. Can you stop? Right? And maybe they're like, hopefully that helps. We're a team. We got to work together here, right? So yeah, just wanted to address that one. All right. So many questions. Are we ready?
Yeah, okay. Let's get into it.
All right. When chapter 2?
So great question. Chapter 2 is this huge initiative that we're working on at Pixels. Basically, it's going to be a really large rework of the game, where right now in Pixels, we're doing everything to think about game economics. We're doing everything to think about botting, multi-accounting, and the practicality of building a Web3 economy. And all of these things that we're doing now are good, and we're going to keep them in for chapter 2. But then there's also systemic changes that we need to the actual gameplay as well to kind of cut back on some of these issues too. And also, we just think there's going to be really more interesting, fun types of gameplay that we unlock with chapter 2 as well. So chapter 2 is this big initiative. Basically, what we're doing is we're reworking core systems inside of the game. The biggest one that you can expect is we're reworking resource generation inside of the game. So alpha, leak, do whatever you want with this information. How it's changing in chapter 2 is instead of every single new player coming into the game and being able to farm on any single plot of land, you'll have to actually work with each other, where resource generation will be capped to land instead. This is going to introduce a couple different changes. One, we are going to be introducing more types of resource tiering. So free-to-play players who don't own farmland, what they'll be able to do if they want to gather some of these resources is they'll have to basically work with a guild who is managing some type of the farmland NFT to access some of these resources, or they'll be getting lower tier resources on top of their specs. Very interesting change to gameplay. And it really integrates tightly with guilds, which is going to be a key part of chapter 2 as well. So guilds is going to be a really cool feature that we're releasing. And actually, I think we're going to release the first teaser of it and the first part of it next week. That's the goal. I think we can get it out by AMA next week. The whole guilds announcement kind of detailing. Dev team says they can do it. It's the first iteration. Really think we can do it. So I think we'll probably announce guilds next week. What exactly that feature looks like, the very first part of it, and how you can start like forming guilds as well too, will probably come out next week. Aggressive timeline, but I think we can do it, and I want to get this out as quick as possible because I think it's going to unlock so much interesting meta gameplay while we get chapter 2 out. But yeah, guilds will be crucial to it. You'll have to find a guild. We're kind of going to be tweaking how guilds work in the game too. So right now you might see some Pixels guilds, right? None of the guilds are like official to Pixels that have been forming around it. And there's a couple of large ones you might have noticed. what we kind of idealize or what we want for guilds is we want them to be more medium sized, if that makes sense. Like our ideal guild size when we're thinking about gameplays, like we kind of want them to sit at like 100 members. So we want you guys to be working and like doing all this meta gameplay. If you've ever played a game like EVE Online, there's some really interesting things that you can pull from that when it comes to organization. And the whole idea is, you know, you're gonna have to trust the people inside of your guilds. You'll be able to join a guild in this really interesting new way. I think we've teased it a bit, but you know, I want to kind of save some of the leaks for the actual announcement. And then there will be guild permissioning inside of the guild too. So you'll have to work with the guild leaders if you want to get like a higher role. Like for example, you know, you might just have a guild visitor role when you initially join a guild. But if you know, ask them nicely, hopefully they'll promote you to like guild farmer, guild leader, all of this kind of stuff. So chapter 2 is coming. The ideal release date is going to be around February to March, it's looking like, but we're probably going to move some of the features around guilds earlier because you can start to participate in all of those sooner. And yeah, we're really excited to get chapter 2 out because it basically fixes some of the core issues with game economy right now when it comes to resource generation. Barry is generating a ton right now. Part of what we need to do is cut back on bots and multi-accounts. So Pixel's reputation, VIP, doing a good job of that, but still needs to be a bit better. And then, yeah, when we have chapter 2 out, changes the game completely. Chapter 2 is also coming out with this new type of gameplay as well. So it's not just these changes to resource generation, but it's also to changes to gameplay as well. What Pixels is lacking right now is a bit of end game, and exploration, this new skill that we're releasing in Pixels, will unlock some of that. It's not going to be combat PvP, but it's going to be a form of economic PvP where guilds might have to work together. So if you don't want to participate in the guild, you don't have to. If you own farmland, you'll get access to basically your own mini guild. You don't have to give your guild, or you don't have to give your farmland to a guild if you don't want. And if you want to maintain this more single player gameplay, you're more than free to. It's just like if you want to start to work up the resource tier list and gather some of the most rare stuff, that's kind of what guilds come into play for.
Okay, there were a lot of questions from like this. It's almost too late to tell you, but yes, go to the theater. There's a small energy regen in there every AMA. Let's see what else in here. Okay, you already answered that one. Okay, can my family join the project using the same Wi-Fi, for example? Family members on the same Wi-Fi. So I get asked this question a lot, and my response to 99% of the questions I get asked about things like this is, are you guys acting like a human would? If you're playing like a human being is capable of playing like, you should be okay. If you're doing things beyond the capabilities of a human, that's when you're not okay.
Yeah, if you have 10 people in your family, it might start to look suspicious. If you have 100 people in your family, we're probably not going to buy it.
Yeah. I was going to give other examples, but I will not because we can't tell them what we look for. Just act like a human. Just do it. I tweeted about this the other day because I'm like, oh my God. Okay. Okay, when more energy events? Yeah, okay, so we paused energy events for a minute there just because there was a little bit of server instability with the crazy amount of people that were coming to all these parties. Great problem to have, but still something that we needed to figure out. So we've been working on it. We threw an energy event on Sunday night, so Monday morning for some of you guys. And we did it on a world map so that it was in the Drunken Goose, which meant that every single world could have their own version of the party. And then this was a party with Moku. And so they owned a few lands. So we linked their lands so that they could still they were live streaming and giving away some UGC and whatnot. So they were still able to do those fun things on their lands, but people could get energy in the Drunken Goose in any world. It worked pretty well. Until beat the crowd, but it worked pretty well. So we'll see. We'll start maybe doing one here and there. For now, we're going to have to keep all energy parties in Terra Villa, and then we can always like link a farm like we did on Monday. But for now, there won't be energy parties on worldless maps, which are NFT lands, due to the insane number of people that want to come to these parties, right? Cool. So anyways, yeah, pay attention to the in-game calendar. There's like a calendar in the game. Now I'm like, oh my gosh, did we just remove it because we put the Wordle object on it? Anyways, you'll find out if you're on our Discord. I always make Discord events for like the big parties that we throw. So pay attention to our Discord, be on there. And then, yeah, that brings me to another point. So if you guys know the game Wordle, I don't want to like just say what the answer is, but it's pretty obvious. What is so funny about this is that I tweeted about, okay, I'm gonna spill the tea. I'm sorry, about Pixel being the Wordle word of the day in February 2022. So like almost 2 years ago, I tweeted about this, and it's finally happened. It's finally happened. So go to there's 2 ways to win things right now on Pixel's Twitter. You can win one special in-game Wordle sign. It's so fun. Oh my gosh, go look. It's in Terravilla. That one you need to play Wordle and then screenshot your winning round and then tweet about it, tagging us and hashtag Pixel Wordle. I believe that's the hashtag. So we'll be choosing some winners probably like tomorrow for that. And then yeah, there's 10 available of those signs. I really want one. I'm kind of bummed that I'm disqualified, I guess. But anyways, that's one way to win. And then if you've been sticking around for this whole thing, you know that we just tweeted our announcement about our collab partnership with Mocaverse. So retweet that for chances at VIP passes.
Nice. Okay, I have a question I want to bring up now. And this goes into another segue too. Do you plan to notify when you activate and deactivate the withdrawals in the future, or is there already a place where it's advertised? So here's something to note. We've been working with the Sky Mavis team a lot around security lately. We have basically a big red button that mostly any of our community team can press if we see any sign of an issue to turn off withdrawals, and then even now to turn off game servers if there's a serious issue that we find. It's really important that we're able to turn this off immediately if there's a suspected issue. So again, if you guys in the community see any potential exploit, if you see any potential bug, please let us know. We're actually going to start to formalize a bounty program when it comes to finding bugs and exploits. For us, it's super important that our community feels and understands that it's worth it to let us know if you find an exploit before actually exploiting it. So we'll have more details around what that bounty program actually looks like, but just note it's in our best interest for us and the community and you as a player to let us know if you find something quicker and sooner rather than later. And if you have any semblance of there being something exploitable, let a community team member know and they can turn off withdrawals. And if they need to, they can turn off game servers immediately without pinging anybody else in the team. It's really important that we have that big red button to be able to do it if needed. Again, it just protects everybody inside of the community, protects the game, it protects the economy. So we need that power to basically turn this off whenever we want. But that's why. And that's why it's been turned off a little bit too. If we see anything that makes us even like a little skeptical, we'll turn it off for like 10 minutes if we need to, turn it back on if we need to as well. But that's why it's there, and that's why we are able to do that. So again, if you find an exploit, go to the help center. There should be a flow to submit an exploit that you might have found. If you're the first one to submit it and it is a serious exploit, we do have a bounty program that we're forming. But even then, like we'll work with you to figure out like what makes sense and what's fair as we're formalizing this program. So yeah, very important that you share and disclose that with us because it just helps everybody, right?
For sure. I will say though, like if you find a gap in a wall that lets you go outside the map, that's not an exploit. So don't message me, please.
We got that a lot. Or yeah, people like skipping a corn maze thing.
Yeah. Please. Okay. Would like to know about the implementation of pixels and Pepe tokens.
Yeah, so obviously we have a token coming out called Pixel. People are really looking forward to that, which is great. And we have a ton of stuff that's ready for that in-game currency to be used for. Yeah, that is this whole thing. And yeah, you're going to hear more and more noise around that coming up. We are planning TGE. We're moving forward on all of the things around that. It's a logistic nightmare, but it's exciting. Things are moving. And yeah, we really appreciate all the excitement around this. You're going to hear more and more noise around that soon. what we want to do first is we want to patch any holes, gaps, and having Berry live right now has been extremely helpful for us to kind of understand some of the systems that we need for it. But it's coming quite soon. Basically, everything that we're working on in Chapter 2 will be using that token, the Pixel token, as like stuff in gameplay. So Chapter 2 will start to integrate some of the gameplay in more of a Clash of Clans style, where you'll be able to do some quality of life improvements, or maybe speed up build times, speed up some certain things like that. But then we also have some other features coming out soon, like guilds, like realms, which will in the future use the Pixel token as well. Same thing with pets. The pets one's cool because what we're actually leaning towards is we might do a pets mint earlier. We were waiting to have Pixel come out and do some pets mints in that token, but I think it might make sense to get some more of you guys some pets with the Berry token. So that'll be exciting if we do a mint there. Note that if we do a pet mint with the Berry token, we'll probably restrict that mint to a select set of users that have progressed through the game further than others, is what I'll note there. And it'll likely be a somewhat limited mint. So excited for that. It'll be an exclusive pet type if we do that one. We'll give you guys more information on that soon, but I think the team is leaning towards doing that after the carnival. Oh, and I think that goes into a good question too. I saw somebody ask a question about difference between these Genesis pets and all of that.
Did you pin it?
Here, let me pull this one up. Or at least this goes into it too. Have you planned anything for pets other than just having more space? So yeah, there are more plans for pets too. I think more gameplay will be formed around them in Chapter 3, though in Chapter 2, they will be integrated into gameplay in some fun ways too. Like things like the extra reach, the extra storage will obviously have a play. But then there's some cool stuff that we can do when it comes to this new thing that we're working on with exploration and that whole skill and economic PvP as well. So stay tuned on that one. And then, yeah, they're also super cute. They're fun to have right now. We know the gameplay isn't great, but in Chapter 3, we'll probably focus more on pet gameplay and what that looks like, whether it be combat or something else. If you guys have any feedback or interesting things you want to see with the pets, let us know. I was obsessed with this app called Sush. I actually met the Sush founder the other day, which is great.
Oh, really?
It's meeting your heroes. It is hyped up. Yeah, they did some really interesting stuff around like social with a pet app. And obviously I'm following things with friend pets as well. That's on base too. There's some interesting stuff there, at least to take away from. But yeah, we'll probably go more of like a Pokemon style, what we were thinking if we go in that direction of combat with these pets.
Okay, I accidentally clicked on this earlier, so let's bring it up. Can we have a calendar automatically change time zone? So yeah, this has been on my list of to-dos for a while. I'm so sorry. I just have not gotten to it. We're going to try and figure something out. Right now, however, it does show in Pacific time because that's where we are. But if you click on it and like add it to your own Google Calendar, it will change into your own time zone. Discord, if there's a big event, I'm always posting it in a code that will show your time in the announcements. And then obviously if there's a Discord event, it's also in your time zone. So the in-game one, yeah, I'm sorry. It's on my list of to-dos. My list of to-dos is very long, but I will definitely try to get to this, especially as we start doing events more often. Again, yeah, I know I see the importance. Okay, Pixels app.
So Pixels is actually somewhat of a PWA. If you guys know what that is, a progressive web app. If you guys haven't seen, maybe we should release a tutorial. You can actually add pixels to your home screen on iOS and on Android. Get like a nice little icon for it. Yeah.
There you go. And I click on that and it opens in Chrome. So it's like a shortcut to the game. And to be able to log in through like Chrome like this, you have to attach your email or your phone number, like your social platform, beyond not just your wallet. But it's so much better to play this way on your phone. This is how I log into the game, come to events and stuff when I'm out and about. Highly recommend doing this.
Yeah, so in terms of actually going into the App Store, that's a bit different of a task. And
there we are. Here I am.
Yeah, so if you've followed us in the project before and like me personally, you know that I'm obsessed with distribution. I'm obsessed with growth. And obviously, App Store distribution is amazing for games. It's one of the best ways for games to get more users. The only issue is there's some tough regulation around App Store when it comes to Web3 applications, even though it seems like the way that we're going about development, when a lot of the game is off-chain and there's a separate on-chain element, we might be okay. So yeah, what we've been waiting for is a larger company to go and kind of figure out all the legal regulation for that first and then follow shortly after them. The tech stack that we have right now is able to be put into a mobile app. We can export with something called Expo, basically maintain the same code base and go into mobile too. So we're just kind of waiting to see when it makes sense to do that, and if there's kind of a clear path towards that.
Okay, there's tons of questions. We're wrapping up in an hour here. Is there anything specific you want to address?
Yeah, somebody asked when the next event after the carnival is, December event. So Mocaverse kind of ties into that. That's gonna be a really fun activation there. Its own mini game loop. We have some other stuff that we're probably going to be pulling in earlier too. Like we still have realms to release. We still have guilds to release. Like we are going to get some attention still. Don't you worry. And then, yeah, there's potential for some other stuff before the TGE as well. That's all I'll say on that one. And yeah, we haven't even really dug into like the real growth hacking that we love to do. If you guys didn't follow the project a year ago, we gave away a lawnmower. We love guerrilla marketing, like that kind of stuff. So yeah, it is funny. I think I might have said something like, if we hit a certain DAU, we give away a Lamborghini tractor. I
think it was like 1 million. So I think we're still good for a minute here.
I really hoped it was 1 million is what I'll say. But we'll stick to that. If we hit 1 million DAU, quote me on this. If Pixels hits 1 million DAU, we will give away a Lamborghini tractor.
Now I'm gonna have to figure out how to source a Lamborghini tractor. No, guys, this was so funny because, I mean, obviously it's ridiculous that we would be doing something like this, but I'll never forget I don't know who they were. They posted like a recap of Web3 gaming and like what's going on in these different projects, and it was like all of this like very normal updates from all of these other ones, and then it was like Pixels_online giveaway tractor. Oh gosh, that was so funny. Anyways, okay. Let's see, maybe like 2 more questions.
Oh yeah. Some people asked, are there more opportunities to raise reputation? Do you have any more options? So, yes, more and more coming. Mocaverse is gonna be one of the first ones. We'll do an RNS integration. So if you have a Ronin ID or a .ron, whatever you want to say, we'll have that increased reputation as well. We'll make a big announcement around that when we do that. I also want to do in-game names with the .rons or .rons. I think that'll be really fun. Basically, we'll just read if you have a .ron, and we'll add like a check mark next to your name in game if you have it. Just think that's super fun, and why not do that? So yeah, more stuff to increase reputation coming. Yeah, also I love this idea. Somebody suggesting affinity or relationship systems. I love Stardew Valley. That was a lot of the inspiration of the game. And I've always thought this is a really cool feature. Basically, like, can you build up like a relationship system with users? Like if you trade with a user a lot, or if you like give them specific items, can you increase like a relationship score with them? Or if we do that with NPCs or something like that. I was pitching AI girlfriends and pixels too much at first, and I think we're moving away from that one. But
okay, what was the beach in the carnival map for? So this was actually a map from an event that we threw around. I think this was summer solstice events, right? Was it similar timing to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just did like this 1-day grinding event. It was nuts, but it was really fun. So we just were like, well, why don't we connect? We have the map, let's connect it. So yeah, you can collect a couple, I think, berry or scattered on the beach there, like a one-time thing.
Yeah, on that note too, the December thing, I forgot. We have so much stuff moving. We might be able to get out this really interesting activation with another really big project around then. I know that Rag Poet's been working on something. That's the only leak I'll give. But he's kind of taken leadership over like what that would potentially look like. That team that we're talking about has given us like a really, really cool script and plot and storyline to follow as well. So it seems like we can make something happen pretty soon too.
I don't even know what you're talking about, honestly. There's so many different things happening. I'm like, wait, is it that one? Is it that one? Oh my gosh. Okay, no, this is a really good question as well. Luke, you can talk about this. All I'm going to say is more information's coming. So stay tuned.
Yep. So when that token is live, there'll be ways to earn the in-game pixel through things like through the dashboard, basically. So it's not going to be distributed in-game in the same way that the berry token is. They operate quite differently. And things like having a higher reputation is a really good way for us to kind of give more rewards to real users. So that's basically the plan around distribution. It's like, okay, can we create daily tasks for users like that to do? Like what we want when we think about rewards in game is we kind of like to reverse engineer our objectives, which are things like, having users play and like retain longer. And then also, having users, help grow the ecosystem, things like sharing on Twitter or competing in like these art contests. We love that art contest that Axie and Pixels are running together is amazing, by the way. Some of the stuff you guys made is so cool. I even like made one of the pixel art things, like my banner on my own personal Twitter, because I was just blown away. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I want to do that now. I'm going to go look at them. Yeah, you guys have done absolutely amazing things. Okay. I think we can wrap this up here. I just did this. Oh, sorry. Go on.
One more question on VIP, because I'm so proud of this team and all of you guys too.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, there's over 12,000 active VIP members now, which is mind blowing. So yeah, appreciate all of you who are like helping support Pixels, who are here with us. You guys are in with us now. At least we got you for 3 months, I feel like, at least. And yeah, we hope to make it worth it for VIP even more in the future.
Yeah, this is something we've been talking about doing for a while, but it just takes like an integration from Discord to Pixels, obviously. So it's a little bit more intricate than, I don't know, you might think, I don't know what to say. Anyways, we've been talking about it. We'll see what we can pull off. Comes down to like capacity and priority, unfortunately. But anyways, I want to do it. So we'll see. Okay, I just posted this and I kind of poorly did it because I didn't put a space between giveaways and the tweet. But there are 2 active. Okay, no, you know what I did? This is StreamYard messing with my thing. But anyways, there are 2 active giveaways. That's actually 2 links if you separate them. I'm sorry, guys. So go and enter them, retweet. It's the Mocaverse announcement. If you retweet that, enter a giveaway of 3-month VIP passes. We'll give that away in a few days. And then Wordle word of the day is pixels. So go and enter that. We've also, we're giving away 10 like these signs that when you go close to them, it like starts spelling out pixel in like the Wordle format. They're so much fun. So go enter that contest as well. Been waiting 2 years for this day, guys. I'm so excited. And yeah, with that, we will see you guys next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, guys.